Why, hello everybody. Andrew Field here. Happy July. It's close to Independence Day, so um, happy Independence Day if I don't get to say it before my next video. Let's get it right into the news. Trump tweeted a video of a man saying white power. He deleted it over a backlash. I think some of his staffers couldn't reach him for a while because he was playing golf. Um, The White House said a response saying that Trump didn't hear the words in the video, which is obvious bull. Trump said that, oh yeah, this made big headlines. Trump said that Black Lives Matter mural in New York City was a symbol of hate and it would denigrate Fifth Avenue. So that's not really what we need to hear from a president right now. Instead of speaking with the movement and saying Black Lives Matter and supporting protests and freedom of speech and freedom of lawful assembly, he decides to do the opposite, and he tried portraying these people as all looters and thugs. Um, he tried, with the whole statue thing, saying they wanted to overthrow the government, Antifa, all this crap, right? And, you know, as the protests are, I don't know if they're still going on, they're not at least reported. Um, but Black Lives Matter murals were showing up in major cities to like show the support of the movement, and De Blasio, New York City's mayor, wanted to put it up, and he calls that a symbol of hate, a mural saying Black Lives Matter. It's not what we need to hear. GOP senators proposed scrapping Columbus Day and adding Juneteenth as a federal holiday. Now that's what we need to hear. I don't know if it'll pass. I think it'd be a hard sell because it's the Senate, but I think it was the Senate, but these were Republican senators. I don't know if it passed the Senate, but I hope it would because I think it's a good direction to take. Because I think Columbus Day. I don't know if that's really the best holiday because that was English um, voyagers that came and just claimed the land for Great Britain and ended up killing a lot of the Native Americans through fighting and disease. So it's probably not the best thing to have a federal holiday around. But Juneteenth, the day that slavery ended, or like was um, enacted for the whole country, I think that's a much better holiday. So I like the creativity and I like the idea. There was a crazy lawyer couple that carried around an AR-15 and handgun in St. Louis and pointed guns at activists who demanded the mayor resign. Um, a man was charged with murder following a Louisville protest shooting. There was a person that was killed and another person that was injured. The demonstrators held a vigil for the 27-year-old photographer, Tyler Girth. Iran issued an arrest warrant for President Trump and 35 others in relation to Qasem Soleimani's death. I think the U.S. should retaliate with that. Um, and also, this was 7 months ago now, so you're a little late to the party, Iran, but I think there still should be some sort of U.S. retaliation for this because that's kind of a big deal, saying your president should be arrested. I think he should, but not under these circumstances by Iran. I think it's a threat when Iran says it, but I think he is a criminal in other ways. NATO officials said they were briefed on Russian bounties on U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan. And my question to that would be, if NATO officials were informed, and I think by America, then how is it that the president and vice president wouldn't be briefed? A source said the information was in one of Trump's briefings. I think one source said as early as 2019, but other sources said early 2020, like the spring, February or March. Hillary Clinton said about Trump's claim that he didn't receive intel about the bounties on U.S. troops, "I would have read my damn briefings." Appreciate that. White House said Trump now has been briefed on what was in his daily intelligence briefing back in February. Well, they didn't say that in a statement, but they said that he was just briefed about it now when a source says it was back in February. Excuse me. Trump, of course, called the Russia bounty story a hoax, because that's what he does with all of his crimes, or anything that's important, like the coronavirus. He just calls it a hoax, thinks it's just going to go away. Colorado Supreme Court upheld a ban on the state's, upheld a ban on large capacity gun magazines. The court found this law does not restrict the right to bear arms and protects public safety, which I agree with. Arizona hospitals were reported near 90% capacity. Arizona shut down bars, gyms, movie theaters, water parks for 30 days. No large gatherings. Arizona governor does not mandate masks, and I just want to say it seems like in all the states that are hit hardest right now that governors are not mandating masks. I'm pretty sure California does, but Florida doesn't, Arizona doesn't. I don't think Texas does, so I don't think Georgia does either. So it's really a problem, and for something that's so simple, if that cannot be done, just shows how bad things are when masks are a political problem. Dr. Fauci said not wearing masks or distancing fueled the surge in cases, obviously. Dr. Fauci also said, also was with CDC Director Redfield because they both testified before a Senate panel. Dr. Fauci said he hopes doses of the vaccine will be available early next year. That seems optimistic, but I really hope so too, because the world working on it together, hopefully it'll go by faster, the process. Cities across Florida adopted face mask requirements for the public. Florida Governor DeSantis said Florida is not going back on reopening as COVID-19 cases surge, which is really the wrong way to go. And I think DeSantis is the worst governor in the United States by far, and I really hope he gets removed before he gets any new term. Florida, do the right thing. It says here 16 states halted reopening plans. I think that number went up to 22 states halting reopening plans. 36 states saw a rise in COVID-19 cases. That was from a day or so ago, so that actually maybe increased a little bit. There was a protest outside of Texas Capitol over bars closing. Mid-Texas coronavirus cases spiking. Bar owners are suing the government for millions of dollars, like trying to get bars to open again. Some Americans are so freaking stupid. Texas governor is allowing Vanilla Ice to perform to thousands for a 4th of July concert. And Vanilla Ice said, "We didn't have coronavirus in the 90s. And this is what I wrote in my notes. Oh boy, stupidity level is over 9,000. I mean, you're talking about the 90s, and you're comparing that to 2020, first of all. Okay? And second of all, people, I think it said up to 2,500 people. So you're telling me that 2,500 people are going to sit to Vanilla Ice singing Ice Ice Baby for 2 hours and risk getting killed. Wow. New York City delayed indoor dining as U.S. virus cases continue to rise. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo extended quarantine requirements to include people coming from besides Arizona, Florida, Texas, also to California, Georgia, Iowa, Idaho, Louisiana, Mississippi, Nevada, and Tennessee. Switzerland made masks mandatory on all public transit. Brazil continues reopening as COVID cases spike. They're making the same mistakes that we did. Mexico City starts to reopen too early, and I saw because the cases are still rising pretty significantly there. And Trump and Mexico's president plan to meet. I think they were setting that up. Savannah became the first city in Georgia to require face masks, so it could be a showdown with Georgia's governor. Trump kind of did a 180 with the whole mask scenario. He didn't say that he was wrong because he can never do that. He didn't wear a mask, um, so there's that. I think that should be something he should do. But he said so wearing a mask makes it look like he's the Lone Ranger. And he said he likes wearing it. He said I'm all for masks, and like I think he said like I'll wear it in a pinch. He's still not mandating them, but it's I think it's better. He's doing a little bit better. He took a baby step today by saying that he would wear it when if he needed to. Um, he likes masks. I'm sure his campaign was saying you need to do something different. So it's not really for the people. It's probably just for his re-election chances because he knows how bad he's doing right now. Um, so it's a baby step, but it's not enough. He needs to be doing a lot more than he's doing. Um, and just to prove that, daily U.S. coronavirus infection has topped 50,000 cases for the first time, July 4th, or sorry, July 1st, 2020, today. 50,000 cases. In March and April, we were seeing around 30,000, and now we're up to 50,000. It's really scary stuff. I hope it doesn't keep going up. I know that our, big population states are getting hit really hard right now, like California, Texas, Florida. There's a lot of other states also. Those are the main three, I think, right now. But I'm nervous. I think that a lot more Americans may die now because of the carelessness of President Trump and also people, not taking the necessary steps like social distancing, wearing masks. The U.S. death rate or the U.S. death count is near 130,000 right now, and I'm worried that it's gonna spike eventually because first the cases are rising, the ICU patients are rising. There's a lot more people in the hospital of coronavirus, so it's only a matter of time. So I hope that everybody just does their part and tries their best to not spread this virus because it's really important right now. We need to do better as a country. Okay. Joe Biden gave his first press conference in months. The Biden campaign raised $141 million in June, outpaced Trump's fundraising haul for the second straight month. Oh yeah. China researchers discovered a new swine flu with pandemic potential. Never trust China. As soon as that information should have been released, the United Nations should investigate and make sure that it can be contained. Because China says, oh yeah, we've got it all under control. They said that with the coronavirus too. So I think they discovered that. Good for them, but do not trust them any further than that. I think the UN needs to send people in there and make sure that it's not going to spread. We can't have two viruses going on at the same time. So, and that's what people are worried about in the fall with the flu and coronavirus. So, we need to make sure that this swine flu with pandemic potential, they said, does not become another pandemic. And I think the UN needs to go in there and figure it out. Minor League Baseball was canceled for 2020. A Hampton Inn employee was fired after calling the cops on black guests at a hotel pool. Excuse me. YouTube TV upped its price. Really bad timing with a lot of Americans out of work, struggling, economic downturn, coronavirus becoming the worst it's ever been in the United States, and YouTube TV upped its price. Kentucky primary ended with Amy Graff beating Charles Booker for the Democratic nomination for Senate, which is McConnell's seat up in 2020. Kick his ass, Amy. Democrats won a special election to fill a vacant Kentucky state Senate seat. It flipped a district Republicans held for decades. It seems to be a suburban shift, they think. Hong Kong fired water cannons to break up a protest, made the first arrests, 300 actually, since China introduced sweeping security legislation, which I don't think has passed yet. Warned of punishment for advocating secession. China fits my top 5 of worst governments, which is Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, and Turkey. Um, Robert Trump, Donald Trump's brother, tried to stop Donald Trump's niece, Mary Trump, who is a psychologist, who called him the most dangerous man in the world, from publishing a tell-all book about the president. A judge ruled to stop the book from publishing. A New York appellate court overturned that decision. Twitch temporarily suspended Trump's campaign account because of their hateful content. Which bravo to Twitch. I mean, they don't seem to be that accurate with things, but I'm glad they're accurate on this one. Happy Canada Day to all Canadians. When I'm older, I hope to become a dual citizen. I've always been fascinated with Canada, and yeah, I hope to do that in the future. And Canada just seems like a really cool country, with a great leader in Trudeau. So happy Canada Day. Uh, there was a famous celebrity, Carl Renner, that passed away at 98 years old. It seemed like he lived a good long life, though. U.S. companies added 2.4 million jobs in June. Mississippi state legislature voted to remove its state flag, the last in the nation to display the Confederate flag. Electricity bills in the U.S. could increase as much as 25% amid soaring summer temperatures with people stuck inside relying on ACs. Now, I get that they're going to raise their prices, but I wish they could relax it a bit more because, I'm sure that's going to hurt people that, may not make as much money. And I really feel for them because, with these, I don't think people have stay-at-home orders, but, with a lot of things being shut down and people trying to be safe, they're going to be inside more, and mixed with the heat, they're not going to want to be outside that much to begin with. So I think the situation's kind of is hitting people hard, and it's kind of cornering them into their homes more. Like, I'm at home a lot. I'm at home most of the time, and so people are going to be using electricity more. So I think maybe Congress should pass a law to help people with their electricity bills. Not, fully cover it maybe, but like maybe pay for a part of it. I don't know. That's just an idea I wanted to throw out there. The Patriots picked up quarterback Cam Newton. This pissed me off because I do not want the New England Patriots. I'm sorry to all Patriots fans, but not really. No, you have 6 freaking championships with Tom Brady. Get out of here. You don't need another championship. I don't think they're going to win another championship because they have bad offense. But Cam Newton's a freaking beast. And as a Bears fan, man, I'm really mad at Bears management. I mean, I like Nick Foles, and I think that he could do great things. But they still seem to have some faith in Mitchell Trubisky because they didn't pick up Jameis Winston or Cam Newton. So that pissed me off. If the Bears don't do well this year, I am shutting off the TV because um, I know that we could have been a really, really good team this year. So hopefully the Bears do pretty well. I mean, I don't even know if there's going to be an NFL season, but I know they're going to at least try. So yay to that. A couple helped a bear in the water by removing a jar that was stuck on his or her head. That's all the news I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Peace out, guys. Stay safe.